welcome to our video on Lugnasad, happening on August 1st, 2020. Venus will be square Neptune with a Leo Sun, and we're going to have a Capricorn Moon and Sun trine Mars in Aries, and Saturn opposing Mercury while conjunct Pluto. Now these planetary facets are going to set the stage for a divergence between Black Moon Lilith and also AZRAEL, because of the Mars and Pluto positions are going to be some conflicting positions there. So these planetary aspects are going to cause this sort of divergence between AZRAEL and Black Moon Lilith, and this is going to happen on Lugnasad this year. Now Black Moon Lilith will be in Aries in the 12th house, and this Lilith mean aspect is known to inflame hostilities between various spiritual and religious sects, and especially when her sister Hebrew Lilith, which is a star, and not just a mathematical point, but an actual star is Hebrew Lilith, brings a harbinger of warfare during her bright pulses. So as she bright pulses, Hebrew Lilith, the star, this will create a harbinger of war that will intensify the Mars and Pluto aspect. And because Samael and Lilith are consorts, that puts Lilith, Black Moon Lilith, in opposition with AZRAEL. So understand that, okay? Now, planetary Archangel Michael will join forces with Seraphim Samael of Mars and Black Moon Lilith to oppose planetary archangels Cassiel of Saturn and Raphael and AZRAEL as the war in heaven rages on. Now, beware double agents though, because there is much intrigue afoot. So understand that you're not always going to know exactly what side someone's on, because again, there's going to be a lot of double agents. So be aware of that, sort of spy versus spy, so that you're going to know when and which angelic forces to invoke or to evoke, to call upon. We're going to go ahead and give you all the astrology angels, the astrology chart, the planetary archangels, the natural and hourly zodiac houses, and also the planetary aspects, the ascendant, the stations, and much more. I'm Pastor Rosemary, the Astrology Angel. I'm a Rosicrucian seer, I'm a biblical astrologer, a Christian psychic, and a Gnostic mystic. And this is a Readings by Rosemary angelic transmission. Now, the Astrology Angel magical invocations, which we teach in unison with horoscope prediction method that we utilize, and we teach both of those, should be used with all mindfulness, since powerful forces of manifestation are unleashed. This is intended exclusively for entertainment purposes. Now, the reason I wanted to make just tell you why some people like to ask me, is this video for magic or is it for predictions? It's both. I do both. So I teach both. And it's like asking, is this for, are you talking about inhalations or exhalations? Well, we're talking about respiration, where you inhale and exhale. So if you're going to breathe, you have to inhale and exhale. Now you can talk about only inspiration or only expiration, but to have life, you must have both. And most people, when they talk about breathing or respirations, they do both. It's like when you talk about blood pressure, systolic and diastolic, you can talk about one and the other. One's when it's beating, one's when it's at rest. However, if you want to talk about your pulse and your blood pressure and how it affects the person's body, you're going to have to know both. So it's the same thing. You really can't have one without the other. You need male, female, black, white, day, night, good, evil. Evil is nothing but the other person's ego. And good is your own ego. That's all it is. Okay, so that's why people keep asking me about that, and I'm just going to make that clear for now. Okay, now we're going to take a look at the astrology chart for Lugnasad, which is also Lama, so first fruits harvest. And this is going to be on August 1st, 2020. Okay, the ascendant is going to be in the sign of Gemini, the twins. And that's here. And we'll get into the specifics of that later on. But just for now, just understand It's in Gemini, and it's at midnight that the chart is for. First thing on August 1st, bestowing the twins' imaginative energy to any party, making your celebrations a really great sensation. And the sun will be in Leo, creating a mood of success and confidence, self-reliance, which is very conducive to the achievement of offspring, progeny, and also creative projects. The moon dwelling in Capricorn centers feelings on the importance of a sure-footed climb to the top of society's rewards, and it gives you a craving for those rewards and for sanctuary and for plenty of walks or hiking in natural terrain and walking in nature. The Lammas or Lughnasadh, or also First Fruit Festival. Okay, now the Lughnasadh and Lammas are celebrated by neo-pagans and Wiccans, with first fruits harvest being celebrated by many Hebrew and Christian denominations. So there's a little something for everybody in our cultures, right? So this is a time of festivals and for celebrating the first harvest, the August harvest. And traditionally in the Bible, they have the first fruits harvest, and they have also the British Isles have their, and in Europe they have their first fruits harvest, and it's the first wheat harvest for some of them. And some people call it the first harvest corn, and the one after that they call it barley. Most people say the harvest moon is like the barley moon in September, but for August it's the first fruits. And it's the corn moon for some, which is different for others, or it's called lightning moon by some, or sturgeon moon. So there's, different people call it different things, but it's first fruits harvest. That's for the full moon, which is on the 3rd this year for August, the August moon. All right, now we're going to talk about the musical notes for the archangels, the guardian archangels for August 1st for 2020 for Lugnasad. We're going to talk about the archangel, the guardian archangel Michael, the archangel for Leo because of the elemental fixed fire aspect, and that's Leo's sun. And then for Capricorn moon, we're going to talk about the elemental guardian archangel of Earth, who is Uriel, and that's for all of the Earth signs because Capricorn is cardinal Earth. So we're going to talk about giving you the healing musical note that will resonate with the frequency of the archangels, the guardian archangels of these elements of fire and earth, we have Uriel here and Michael, and these are the guardian archangels. So we're going to also show you the Merkaba fields. So again, for the archangel, for Michael, for fire, and for Leo being fixed fire, this is the Merkaba field for the archangel Michael. It's a fire Merkaba field for the guardian of fire, guardian of the watchtower of the fire aspect, and that direction, yeah, of the 4 archangels. And the healing musical note in the ancient Western arrangement for Leo is A. For Leo specifically, it's A, and that's Virtuel for Leo. Okay, very healing note indeed. And then we have, next for Capricorn, we have the Earth Merkaba. This is the Earth Merkaba field, Mer meaning rotating fields of light, and Ka meaning spirit, and Ba meaning soul. So this is for the Earth guardian archangel, who is Uriel. Uriel's here, and this is for the Capricorn moon. The Capricorn Zodiac angel is Hanael specifically, and this is for the guardian angel of the watchtower for Earth, for Uriel, the Merkaba field. And the healing musical note in the ancient Western arrangement for Capricorn specifically is G. I'll play that for you now. Okay, again, a very healing note, and those are very healing angelic frequencies. So we have AZRAEL for the moon on Lugnasad on the 1st at midnight. Okay, and we have for Archangel Michael, Guardian Archangel Michael, we have the Merkaba field for fire and earth. Okay. Now, at this time, again, on August 1st at 12 midnight, when the Sun is trine Mars and square Uranus, success gets a really big boost from the martial warrior aspect, especially when meeting up with and standing up to radicals. Now, Luna trine Uranus brings amusement and encouragement and sincerity, responsive interest, and these kinds of things to the table. Mercury square Mars trine Neptune and opposite Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto forwards, quickens, and expounds upon good luck spells and auspicious charms, being especially favorable to solitary practitioners of elaborate or intricate magical rituals. So you can, those of you who like to do magic can utilize this. This is not only a prediction of what the energies will be, but also how you can deal and interact with the frequencies thereof. Yeah? Okay. So Venus square Neptune necessitates astrology angel magic rituals specific to increasing self-worth, especially in matters of love and romance. Leo's Sun will help with general confidence and general self-reliance, and sort of a relaxed, confident nature, though the Venusian arenas involving love matters will need to be bolstered, okay? Now, Mars square Jupiter and Pluto gets a bit overly eager and anxious about their own sexual magnetism and ability to control others, sort of that kind of approach. People want to control others with their sexual magnetism. That's going to come into play, okay? And also, Jupiter sextile Neptune and conjunct Pluto lends a sympathetic and a clairaudient ear to those they encounter who are sullen from lost loves. Saturn conjunct Pluto might be the party pooper who really throws a wet blanket on anyone having a good time. Neptune and Pluto in a sextile position bring innovative and novel party ideas into the festivities and the celebrations. So there's a lot you can say, well, this is the way it's going to be, and prepare for that. Or if you want to do a little magic, you can use these aspects to help you. Now, the astrology chart here that we've prepared for you, and we'll bring it in a little closer for you here in a moment. For this month, for Lammas and Lughnasadh, first fruits harvest, August 1st, 2020 at 12 a.m. Midnight. That's UTC Tropical, Universal Time Coordinated. This prepared chart is calculated from that precise time and includes hourly and hourly house calculations in addition to the natural house calculations. We're also including the planetary aspects, the ascendant, the stations, the natural houses, the horoscope houses, and associated with the planetary placements. So we're going to go ahead and bring it in a little closer for you so you can get a better look at it. And you can also check it out on our Facebook, Pastor Rosemary, the Astrology Angel, and it's in the description box. We're going to bring it in a little closer for you here. Okay, there you go, so you can see it good. So we have the Sun in Leo, and that's at 12 minutes in the 4th house, which is similar to the sign of Cancer, of hearth, home, and family. And Leo is akin to the natural 5th house of children and creativity. The line's divine tone is I will. Planetary Archangel Michael visits habitation of Zodiac Angel Virchiel. Virchiel for Leo and Michael for the Sun. Okay, now we're going to talk about the moon in Capricorn, the moon in Capricorn here. And that's at 6 degrees, 44 minutes in the 8th house, which is analogous to the sign of Scorpio, birth, sex, death, and debt. Capricorn is similar to the natural 10th house of social status and fame. And the ghost's divine tone is I use. Planetary Archangel Gabriel visits dwelling of Zodiac Angel Hanael of Capricorn and Gabriel of the moon. Next we're going to take a look at Mercury. the planet Mercury. And that's in the sign of Cancer, the crab, at 22 degrees, 34 minutes in the third house, which is akin to the sign of Gemini, of transportation and communication. Cancer is analogous to the natural fourth house of hearth, home, and family. The crab's divine tone is I feel. Planetary Archangel Raphael of Mercury visits abode of Zodiac Angel Muriel of the sign of Cancer. Then we're going to look at Venus in Gemini. Venus in Gemini here. Venus in Gemini at 24 degrees 9 minutes in the first house, which is similar to the sign of Aries, of self and appearances. Gemini is akin to the natural third house of transportation and communication. The twins' divine tone is I think. Planetary Archangel Anael visits the habitation of Zodiac Angel Umbriel. So Umbriel is for Gemini, and the Planetary Archangel Anael, the Archangel Anael, is for Venus. Now Venus in other cultures is called Lucifer. The planet Venus in Hebrew is called Noga, but it's also it's called Lucifer is the angel. The planet is Noga in Hebrew, or Venus, but the angel can be named Anael, or can be named Lucifer, or can be named the Shining One, or can be named Halil ben Shachar, as in Isaiah 14:12. That's Halil ben Shachar, and also called the bright and morning star of Revelation 12:16, also called the morning star in Revelation 2:28. So you can say Anael, or you can say Lucifer, or the Shining One, or Halil ben Shachar, or the morning star, or the bright and morning star, and or you can say, you know, any one of those angels, angelic beings that you want for Noga, for Venus. And that's visiting the Zodiac Angel, the habitation of Zodiac Angel Umbriel of Gemini. Umbriel's for Gemini. That's the Zodiac Angel for Gemini. Now, Mars in Aries. Mars is in Aries here, and that is at 12 minutes, at 18 degrees and 12 minutes in the 12th house, which is analogous to the sign of Pisces, the fish of spirituality, spiritual aspects. Aries is similar to the natural first house of self and appearances. The ram's divine tone is I am. Planetary seraphim Samael visits dwelling of Zodiac Angel Melchizedek. That's Samael, seraphim Samael of Mars, and Zodiac Angel Melchizedek of Aries. Now Mars in Aries, and we have Black Moon Lilith is in the 12th house of spirituality, and so is Mars. Okay, so we have and seraphim Samael and Lilith are consorts, and Black Moon Lilith and Hebrew Lilith is another aspect of Lilith, which is actually a star. And with all these aspects, and also because of there's a difficult aspect with Pluto, we have seraphim Samael and also Michael and Lilith versus AZRAEL and Raphael. Really is what's going on. So it's an intense energy. Okay. So Melchizedek for Aries, and we have Mars, we have seraphim Samael from Mars. And then we have for Jupiter, Jupiter is going to be in Capricorn and retrograde there. So we have Jupiter retrograde in Capricorn at 20 degrees, 8 minutes in the 9th house, which is akin to the sign of Sagittarius of life, path, meaning. Capricorn is analogous to the natural 10th house of social standing and fame. The divine tone is I use, I utilize. Planetary Archangel Sachiel of Jupiter visits the abode of Zodiac Angel Hanael of Capricorn. And Saturn retrograde in Capricorn here. Saturn retrograde in Capricorn at 27 degrees 49 minutes in the 9th house, which is similar to the sign of Sagittarius of life, path, meaning. Capricorn is akin to the natural 10th house of social standing and fame. The goat's divine tone is I use. Planetary Archangel Cassiel, aka Saturn, the star of Remphan, mentioned in Acts 7:43, which corresponds to the star of your god Moloch, spoken of in Amos 5:26, visits habitation of Zodiac Angel Hanael. So that's Hanael is the angel for Capricorn. Now, Archangel Cassiel can also be called Satan, or can also be called Star of Remphan, or can be called the star of your god Moloch. Okay? So just understand that those were these, but Hanael is for Capricorn. So understand that. So we have Uranus in Taurus, and that's here. Uranus, which is direct on the 1st, in Taurus at 10 degrees, 36 minutes in the 12th house, which is analogous to the sign of Pisces, the fish of spirituality. Taurus is similar to the natural 2nd house of money and possessions. The bull's divine tone is I have. Planetary Archangel Ariel, that's A-U-R-I-E-L, Ariel, visits dwelling of Zodiac Angel Asmodel of Taurus and Ariel of Uranus. And then we have Neptune is going to be retrograde in Pisces on the 1st. Neptune retrograde in Pisces at 20 degrees, 34 minutes in the 11th house, which is akin to the sign of Aquarius of friends and reputation. Pisces is analogous to the natural 12th house of spirituality. Spiritual things are coming in strong, a lot of strong angelic forces, so be aware of that, especially on Lugnasad, Lammas, and First Fruits Harvest this year. Now, so the fish's divine tone is I believe. And Planetary Archangel AZRAEL visits the abode of Zodiac Angel Int'l, Int'l of Pisces, and AZRAEL of Neptune. AZRAEL of Neptune. Then we have Pluto, retrograde in Capricorn, a lot going on in Capricorn at 23 degrees, 21 minutes in the 9th house, which is similar to the sign of Sagittarius of life, path, meaning. Capricorn is akin to the natural 10th house of social standing and fame. The goat's divine tone is I use. Planetary Archangel AZRAEL of Pluto visits habitation of Zodiac Angel Hanael of Capricorn. Okay? Now the North Node is retrograde in Gemini at 26 degrees, 57 minutes in the 1st house here, which is analogous to the sign of Aries of self and appearances. Gemini is similar to the natural 3rd house of transportation and communication. The twins' divine tone is I think. Planetary Archangel Gabriel, because of the moon, this is the North Node of the moon, it's a mathematical point, rules over Luna, and Zodiac Angel Umbriel presides over the sign of Gemini, the twins. The South Node, retrograde in Sagittarius, and that's here, which is similar to the natural 9th house of life, path, meaning. The Archer's divine tone is I perceive. And the Planetary Archangel Gabriel rules over Luna, and Zodiac Angel Anakiel presides over the sign of Sagittarius, the Archer. Now, the North Node and South Node's monthly astrology natural house calculations with the North Node in Gemini and the South Node in Sagittarius, it becomes sort of entertaining for people to be trained and to coach others to think faster and more innovatively regarding communicating for business services or just for our own enjoyment, really. And how to transport merchandise and produce and animals from and people too from point A to point B. So the North and South nodes of the moon are always retrograde in that they're always that the 12 zodiac signs are visited in an anti-clockwise direction. Now, present and past life incarnations or karma, according to monthly North and South nodes respectively, the astrological formula for a Gemini, the twins, North Node present incarnation, and Sagittarius the Archer South Node past lifetime is that a person who was able to recognize vast and profound truths and dimensions in their previous incarnations will now in this lifetime be taught how to enjoy the amusements and interests of this current existence. The hourly astrology house calculations for the North and South nodes for Lammas 2020 at 12 a.m. Universal Time Coordinated reveals, as tropical astrology, reveals first house qualities of self and appearances akin to the sign of Aries for the North node. This places the South node in the 7th house with attributes analogous to the sign of Libra the scales of law and commitment. Now we're going to go ahead with talk about Black Moon Lilith. And Black Moon Lilith is here in Aries, which is why it's so important with these other aspects this month. Now, Black Moon Lilith in Aries at 20 degrees and 54 minutes in the 12th house, which is analogous to the sign of Pisces of spirituality, another spirituality intense, it sort of comes into this realm, okay, with comes to earth, okay. So we have a lot going on with spirituality and these angelic forces, and with martial aspects in Aries. Mars rules Aries, and Samael of Seraphim Samael of Mars consort with Lilith, and then we have Black Moon Lilith, and we have Hebrew Lilith pulsing, and Black Moon Lilith, which is in Aries now as well, and doesn't go into Taurus until the 21st of October 2020, and at that time things will be more about a struggle for ownership, but it'll be purposeful. But now it's sort of chaotic, violent behavior, and so understand that, okay? And with this other Aries aspect, and that's with a difficult aspect with Pluto and AZRAEL, understand there's some difficulty there, okay? So it's very intense because it's also spiritual, okay? Because of the other aspects. So, because we have a 12th house here on Lugnasad, okay? So Aries is similar to the natural first house of self and appearances. And the Ram's divine tone is I am. Lilith was Adam's first wife, created in the same way as Adam, possessing as great an amount of power and authority as Adam. Now, Adam rejected her, Lilith, because she refused to submit to him. Therefore, consequently, Lilith entered into a romance with the Seraphim Samael of Mars as her consort. And since Mars rules Aries, Black Moon Lilith is right at home in the sign of the Ram because she knows him well. She's right at home there. While Lilith visits the realm of Zodiac Angel Melchizedek until the later October 21st, beware of indulging in the excesses and cruelties that go along with the urge to obliterate traditional institutions and established organizations. Evoking lawlessness also gives one's enemies an excuse to fight back for what they hold dear, with just as much, if not even superior malice and brutality. For violence begets violence, and anarchy unleashes many unrestrained and strange and unrestrained diabolical spirits. They become unleashed. So be aware of that. All right, now for the ascendant. The ascendant is in Gemini. The first house is in Gemini at 12 degrees 25 minutes. Now the 12th house stretches from 16 degrees 50 minutes Aries to 12 degrees 25 minutes Gemini. That's the 12th house. Okay. Now, the first house encompasses from 12 degrees 25 minutes Gemini to 1 degrees 46 minutes in the sign of Cancer to here. So it goes from here to here. Okay. So the conjunctions occur. We put these up because of the conjunctions. They occur, and because of the ascendant, occur in astrology when two planets are very close together at an orb of 8 degrees or less, placing them in the same zodiac sign or into the same astrology house, or both. Now, zodiac signs are always comprised of 30 degrees. So the signs are always 30 degrees because they're They're a grid that humans have put there, okay? While the astrology houses are not always 30 degrees, rather they vary with some being more and some being less. The constellations are actually not all the same, but the constellations themselves, and there's a constellational astrology, but this tropical astrology would deal with a grid that's based on the constellations that are all 30 degrees, and that the houses vary. They're not always the same. They vary, some more and some less. Okay, now for the planetary aspects, we have the Sun is trine Mars. So we have the Sun is here in Leo, is trine on the blue line Mars in the sign of Aries, and we have the Sun in Leo square on the red line Uranus, which is in Taurus. And on the first, Uranus will still be direct. It will be going retrograde later on in the month, I believe on the 15th. Okay, and we have another video about the whole entire month. Okay, now the moon here in Capricorn, I told you a lot in Capricorn going on. Also the moon, and also Jupiter and Pluto and Saturn all retrograde. But we have the moon in Capricorn on the blue line is going to be trine Uranus, and Uranus again in Taurus. We also have Mercury. The planet Mercury is going to be square Mars. It's on the red line, and that's going to be square Mars in Aries. Mercury is in Cancer, is going to be opposing on the dark red line Jupiter. Planet Jupiter retrograding Capricorn, and Mercury in Cancer on the dark red line is also going to be opposing Saturn retrograde in Capricorn, and Mercury in Cancer is going to be on the blue line trine Neptune, which is retrograde in Pisces. Okay, on the blue line, and we're going to have Mercury in Cancer on the dark red line opposing Pluto retrograde in Capricorn. And we're going to have Venus, the planet Venus, is going to be square on the red line, Neptune retrograde in Pisces. And you can find this pretty close, you can see it pretty good, but we put in the description box a link to Pastor Rosemary, the Astrology Angel Facebook page where you can go look at it real close, okay? We've got it pretty close here, but it's even closer there so you can really see it. Now we have also Mars, the planet Mars is going to be trine on the blue line, the Sun in Leo, and Mars is going to be on the red line square Mercury, which is in the sign of Cancer, and Mars will also be in Aries square Jupiter retrograde in Capricorn, and Mars in Aries square on the red line Pluto retrograde in Capricorn. So a lot going on again in Capricorn. Now Jupiter will be, as we just said, opposing Mercury, and we said that Jupiter will be squaring Mars. We had mentioned that already. And Jupiter will be also, Jupiter retrograde in Capricorn will be sextile on the green line, Neptune retrograde in Neptune. Okay? And so that's Jupiter sextile Neptune. And we also have, and Jupiter will be retrograde, and so will Neptune be retrograde. And we have Jupiter will be in retrograde in Capricorn in the 9th house, and it will be conjunct Pluto, also retrograde, also in the 9th house. So in this instance, they're both in the 9th house, and they're both in Capricorn. And we have Saturn opposing Mercury, as we mentioned, and we also going to have Saturn in Capricorn in the 9th house, conjunct Pluto also in Capricorn in the 9th house. Again, the same in the house and the same sign. And we have Uranus in Taurus, square the sun that we had mentioned. And we have also, the sun will be in Leo. And again, Uranus will be trine the moon, with the moon in Capricorn and Uranus in Taurus. We're going to have the Neptune trine Mercury, which spoke of earlier, with Neptune in Cancer and excuse me, I'm sorry, it's Mercury in Cancer and Neptune retrograde in Pisces. Okay, they're going to be a trine on the blue line, their aspect. And Neptune square Venus, we spoke of that already, and also the Neptune sextile Jupiter. And we're also going to have Neptune is going to be sextile Pluto on the green line. So Neptune sextile Pluto on another green line here, and Pluto will be retrograde in Capricorn. So these are the aspects. Now, please see our video entitled Tropical Astrology versus Sidereal Astrology, which is more accurate, for an in-depth look at the various arguments comparing the validity of tropical, sidereal, and Vedic systems. Also taking a looky-loo at new systems of 13th sign and constellational astrology. The information found in this document is based on the oral tradition known as Kabbalah, taught to me by Rosicrucian clergy when I was but a young girl, the facts of which I have committed to memory. Please be sure to like and tap the bell for notifications, share, subscribe, and make friendly comments. Thank you for joining us, and please join us again.